back to my channel. I am Jackie Ina, and if you are here, thank you so much for joining me and welcome. So the other day, actually I can't even lie, not the other day, this was late last night, I'm browsing online and I'm looking at video after video. You know when we just kind of get lost after like one video after the other? And I came across this other YouTuber by the name of Nelly Robert, who is adorable. She does beautiful looks. I instantly subscribed. I was really inspired by one of her makeup tutorials. It was called the fall makeup. It was like a fall makeup look, and it had kind of like this gold lid with like berry in the crease, and it's actually more of a purple look. Like it's definitely, I definitely did not use the same color palette, but I was really inspired by her look. So today I'm recreating it. You guys have to check her out. She's adorable and beautiful. I also kind of got the idea to use the Huda Beauty palette. This is the Huda Beauty Textured Shadows palette, Rose Gold Edition. I actually got some requests about this on Twitter, so I went and bought it, tried it out. First time Huda Beauty purchaser. Never tried her lashes, never tried her liquid lipsticks. I also got the lip contour set, which I will be featuring and wearing in today's video. And not only am I going to be demoing the products today, but I'm also going to be sharing my thoughts and giving you guys a review. Whenever I see a new product comes out and the reviews are really mixed, kind of up and down, it honestly kind of intrigues me more to try it. So I went out and I got it today, and now I'm wearing it, and I've heard the good, I've heard the bad, I've heard the palette seems like it's inconsistent. A lot of people were saying the foil shadows don't pick up. So this is an 18 eyeshadow palette created by, again, Huda Beauty. She has the mega huge makeup page, and even though, no shade, girl, Huda, you need to throw some chocolate up in there. So I'm not really here for that movement. I was really intrigued about trying her palette because I just wanted to see what everyone was talking about. I kind of feel like the more mixed or inconsistent the reviews are, the more it's kind of like, what's really good? Now I want to try it just to see for myself. It's got a complete top row of foiled shadows, and then this one random foiled shadow, and then all of the rest of the shadows are pretty much matte. So I kind of hate to play devil's advocate with this palette, but when I saw the swatches, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, ooh, girl, what's really good? But I actually like the palette. Like, I don't see anything wrong with the mattes. In my opinion, it applies just as creamy and just as pigmented as all other matte shadows. And as for the foils, it literally tells you, because a lot of people were saying that they don't pick up on brushes. Now, for me personally, when it comes to shadows like these, I typically prefer to apply them with my fingertips anyway. So it's nothing, you know, to just dig in there. And the people that reviewed this product and tried it with a brush are absolutely right. It's not like, it doesn't pick up at all, and I'll move in and show you. So with shadows like these, you always want to work with a synthetic brush because human hair or like goat hair is just a little too soft. So here you go, I'm patting it in. There's nothing on the brush, nothing, there's no fallout. So obviously it's not like I'm just swiping it on and off. I'll move to another shadow so you can see for yourself. Barely any color payoff. There's some parts of makeup application that no matter what, you have to just kind of go in with the brush to kind of fine tune. Specifically, mind you, I'm not talking about the matte shadows, okay? It's the foiled shadows that are having this issue with being picked up on the brush. So I want to give you guys a little tip if you are thinking about buying this palette. For me, if you actually, instead of going smoothly down the foil, if you actually want to get it on the brush, chuck it upwards and almost kind of grind it so that it picks up the product. So as you can see, if I go upward against the grain of the brushes, it actually chunks up, I should say. And then it gives you a nice little loose concoction, therefore making it much easier to pick up on the brush. I don't necessarily mind that it tells you to use a brush, but I do think that eyeshadow palettes are kind of one of those things that they shouldn't really come with like super specific instructions. Do you know what I mean? But I think that now knowing that, okay, I've seen the reviews and people were saying use your fingers, and then I read on the back of the palette and it said use your fingers, and with that said, I was definitely cool with it. I like it. I would recommend this. I like the color selections. I think there's the perfect amount of like lid colors and also deep like crease colors, because sometimes I feel like most palettes, the crease colors are too light or just too chalky, but I actually really like this palette. So sue me, girl. I was also a first-time buyer and trier of the lip contour sets, which I actually, and this is another one of those things that I feel like I've heard kind of mixed reviews about, and I actually really like them. I actually really like them for the formula. They don't crumble. when you press your lips together, they don't separate, and they smell really good. I don't know what they smell like, but Huda girl, I don't know girl, I don't know what kind of witchcraft you did on the smell. The color payoff is fabulous. It dries and sets really nicely. Even just look at this. Even just with one swipe, like that is impressive. I actually heard about Huda when I lived in Kuwait, and she's been in the beauty industry. She was already big back then. That was in like 2012. So I would honestly expect, as far as like a makeup expert, like if she were to create something, I wouldn't expect anything less than the best. And I'm just saying that like completely unbiased. I don't know Huda personally. So those are my thoughts on both the lip contour kits and the Rose Gold Edition palette. Without further ado, let's go ahead and show how to get this wintertime slay, which mind you is going to be wonderful for holidays. So if you are looking for a holiday appropriate makeup tutorial, look no further. Please subscribe if you have not already. Let's go ahead and get started. So we're gonna jump right in by priming my eyes. I'm using this really sticky Sephora eyeshadow base, which is really annoying because they discontinued it. But I like really sticky bases because they really just catch those shadows. Next, I'm going to be filling in my brows, and I just kind of quickly went through this because the routine doesn't really change. But I'm using the Benefit Goof Proof Brow to fill them in and darken them. I use the shade number 4, the Perfect Ash Brown. And let's get into this palette, girl. I'm going to take, what's your name, guy? Okay, your name's Henna. Anyway, we're blending henna into our crease, and I find that using this diffuse crease brush from Sigma, it is the E38, this just became my new favorite transition color brush, and I'll tell you why. I have big eyes, and I feel like using really big, fluffier brushes was giving me less control, so I stopped, I switched to this, and it's been amazing. Next, I took Maneater, which is a slightly more burgundy color, and this 222 brush, which is a little bit more tapered and pointed, and I'm building that into my crease, and I'm also kind of reapplying my transition color again. Then I'm going to take a slightly more darker color from the same palette. This is Bossy. It's another burgundy-ish family color, and I really found that I did not have to like really intensify these colors too much. They blended out, in my opinion, really nicely on my skin tone. Next, I'm taking Trust Fund, which is kind of reminds me of Amber Lights from MAC, but a more like, it's like Amber Lights on steroids. And I first packed it on with my finger, and then I took this more sharper brush to kind of get that cut crease look, and I'm just defining around my crease area. And I showed you how I got it to pick up on the brush earlier, so I'm basically just using that to, you know, do that technique. And then I took this color, actually just kidding, I used #blessed on my inner corner. I really liked the way that this looked. I kind of feel like originally if I used the green, it would have looked a little too Mardi Gras-ish, you feel me? On top of that, I used Moon Dust just to stamp it a little bit more, intensify it. And then for my mascara, I used a couple coats of Colossal Big Shot. This is Maybelline's newest mascara, which does not launch till January, but it is, when I tell you, bomb, I really mean it's bomb. But I'm not going in for too many coats. I'm only going to use one coat, and then I'm going to use Chloe Lash from Lena Lashes. It is a very fluffy kind of, almost kind of brighter looking lash, which I thought was perfect for this look. Next, I'm going to be taking for foundation my Lancome Teint Idole Stick Foundation. 1 for the coverage, 2 for the fact that it makes my skin look flawless. It's one of my favorite, if not of all time favorite stick foundations, but it does, I will have to say, Hourglass also gives the stick foundations a run for its money, but this is just the one, in my opinion, that is the most compatible with oily combination skin type. So I'm blending that out, definitely going for full coverage, and then I'm contouring using my Black Opal Stick Foundation. I believe this is the shade Black Walnut, and I love the way that this sculpts and, you know, builds my cheek up. People were asking me if I changed my contour routine. I actually didn't. I just, you know, switch the product every so often. Then for full coverage concealer, I'm using the Lock-It Tattoo Concealer from Kat Von D. I think I used the shade Deep Neutral, and then once I apply that, I'm blending that all in with my Beauty Blender sponge for flawless and seamless coverage. You guys know I'm Team Beauty Blender. And yeah, pat, 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 dab it on in. I forgot to show you my Sacha Buttercup, but I am using that for under eye to set the translucent powder. And I'm also using that on my forehead, my T-zone, where I get the most shiny, and I'm reverse contouring along my cheekbones. Using Man Eater eyeshadow again from the palette, I blended that along my bottom lash line. And then on top of that, to kind of soften the look, I used Sandalwood, which is one of the creasy, it's more of like a flesh tone looking color, but that is what I use just to kind of soften and blend out that under eye. And then I use my Iman powder to set my foundation. I always do this whenever I use liquid or cream, just so it won't move around, and for slightly more coverage, not too much though. And then I bronze my skin using the Shea Moisture bronzer. I used the color Mandalay Dusk with this Tom Ford brush. When I tell you, if you spend and save your money on any bronzing brush, it is this one right here. Like, I absolutely freaking love this brush. It's amazing. So I'm trying out the, what is this called? The Starlight Star Bright palette from Stila. What I will say is I do think that this product is better applied with fingertips because it's buttery soft, but I still like it. And then on top of that, to intensify it a little bit more, I'm using my Candlelight drops from I'm using my Candlelight drops from Cover FX and blending those in the places that I want to shine the most. And that forehead trick looks really good in photographs, but you do have to make sure it doesn't look too, you know, over the top. It can get carried away real quick, okay? Next, using the lip contour kit from Huda Beauty. I'm actually gonna be trying, because on the instructions they tell you to first line the outside of your lips and then in the center. Like, it's totally the whole like Instagram technique. And I was like, all right, let me try it for once. And so what I did was I outlined my lips with the pencil first, as you can see here. Then it tells you to take the color Vixen and basically fill in around your lip line. So that's what I'm doing there. And then on top of it, you're supposed to apply Famous, or it may even be the other way around. And that's supposed to like contour your lips. And let me just tell you, it didn't do that at all. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the lip combo, but I still feel like the lining of the lips, if you're gonna put a lip color on top of it anyway, it's kind of pointless. But needless to say, I loved it, and this is how it turned out. That's it, everybody. Thank you so much for checking out today's tutorial. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. It helps support my videos, and it makes it so that other people can see how fabulous the channel is. Yes! Check out the info box for all of the products listed. I always give you the tea on what is used to create it. I include links. I also give you guys discount codes if I have any for certain products. While you're here, you might as well check out some previous uploads here, right here. This is a New York City vlog. I got to spend the week in New York with Maybelline. It was fabulous. I had a ton of fun, and I haven't vlogged in years. So please check it out. I put a lot of work into it. And this video, I'm debunking, and in this video, I'm debunking some dupe fails, AKA products that were supposed to be dupes, but didn't quite meet the mark, and I felt some type of way, so I did a whole rant video on what I felt were unjustifiable dupes. So check that out if you want to see it as well. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you guys hopefully on my next video. Bye!